Surprising Ojibwe. Do you know what the largest lake in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan is? Give you a hint, it shares a name with another lake in the Iron Range of Minnesota. That's right, it's Lake Gogebic, or I think another pronunciation might be Gogebic. But this lake has an Ojibwe name. Gogebic comes from Gogebic. Gugi means he or she dives. B is describing something he or she does in relation to water. Interestingly, this can also be used in a lot of words describing drinking. And N makes it either a place or it makes it a third-person clausal statement. Kind of depends on what you're trying to say here. So the place where they dive into the water. Now, if you go onto the website of the Iron Range Tourism, you might see this little explanation down here. It says Gogebic, that the name comes from the Ojibwe language that means appropriately where trout rising to the surface making rings in the water. Nah. See, this is describing something trout do called the rise, where they come up to eat bugs off the surface of the water. It's why trout are really great for fly fishing. But I really don't know how you get any of that from Gogebic. A trout is namegos, and the morpheme describing a fish is ameg. And there are a few ways of describing ripples in the water, but it's more about how you're moving through the water to cause ripples. It's a very specific statement, and that's zasijiwan or dadopi. I'm sorry, I just don't know how you get Gogebic from any of that, but maybe a cool statement. There are also a couple other explanations for where the word Gogebic comes from. In Ojibwe, two other pronunciations of the origins of this word might be akuki or agogebic. Both these come from the morpheme agude, which is describing hanging. This allegedly is because Lake Gogebic in Michigan is at a very high elevation, so it's a lake that hangs high up in elevation. Very cool if accurate, but agude actually is a broader term. The idea of hanging is a lot broader term in Ojibwe than it is in English. You actually use the morpheme agude to describe the way that the sun, the moon, celestial bodies hang in the sky, or even the way clothing hangs on the body. This could even be a way of telling time, describing the shape of the moon as it hangs in the sky. So agude, very cool word, very broad ways that it can be used. Perhaps this is another one. So whether you're in the UP of Michigan or the boundary waters of Minnesota, you can look for Lake Gogebic. Hey, miigwech for listening, everybody. This video is actually a quest from Giwed Nugabao and Giwed Nugashik. Miigwech Ginua for suggesting this, and I hope you learned something. You can send me a request too. If there's a place that you think has an Ojibwe name, or perhaps you know has an Ojibwe name, feel free to let me know in the comments. Or if there's just a word you're curious about that you know in English or Ojibwe and want to see if we can figure out more that it means, let me know also in the comments.